Wow, wonderful people. It's so nice to be here once again. And let me register my appreciations that I'm always so much delighted to always be here. Thank you for giving me your audience and giving me a platform and an opportunity to present what I know best. And in our today's topic, today we are going to look into how to overcome financial traps, you know. And when I'm talking about money traps, I mean like there are all these traps that we end up getting into, and they dupe us, that we find we are so much lost in them, and for one to overcome them, to get to the surface, it takes so much time. So when I talk about these money traps, what do I mean? And maybe we start by asking ourselves, now that we are talking about money traps, why money? Why now we are talking about money all this while? And I want us to define money. I know we all know money. Well, we ask ourselves, what is money? And I know each and every one of us have their own definition of what money is. And like we know, we've been taught that money is a medium of exchange, exchange for value. And also in this our topic today, we are going to say that money is a tool that helps us answer most of our livelihood needs. And I want to put forward that money, or this money, or the amount of money one has, it really helps one make life choices. What do I mean with this? Like, for example, with the amount of money you have, this determines the estate or the neighborhood where you live. Your money also advises you which hospital to go to when you're ailing. Your money dictates where your children will go to school. And also, your money dictates or helps you decide the kind of car you're going to drive. So it is so much matters how one the amount of money one has. And in today's topic, we want to consider this person maybe who feels they are in a place where they've not gathered the financial muscle to make maybe your financial muscle have not enabled you to live in that neighborhood where you would want to live, to drive that car that you would want to drive, to take your children to that school where you desire that they be in, or even maybe you're not able to go to that very hospital that you would like to have. But let me put it forward here that it's just a matter of time. If you put your actions in a good perspective, and you coordinate well with your money, in just a matter of time, you should be where you wanted to be. Now, we are talking about overcoming these money traps. What traps are we talking about? Trap number one, living paycheck to paycheck, like paycheck to paycheck syndrome, that's one of the traps that we are going to talk about. Trap number two, where one lives in debts, expensive debts, and another money trap is whereby after you've worked so hard, you've earned your pay, you wonder where your money goes after a week, after 3 days, after even some hours. You wonder, where did my money go, And also, trap number 4, you wonder who bewitched you, And in today's topic, we are going to address all this. Now, how do we overcome these money traps, How do you overcome this money trap, I'm glad you asked. So, welcome to this space. We are going to learn and put this into perspective. Number 1 point, for you to overcome all this money trap, number 1 thing that one should consider is your relationship with your money. What do I mean when I talk about your relationship with your money? Let's ask ourselves, or answer me. That day when you receive your pay, what links in your mind? Does it link of going out on a holiday? Do you remember that designer shoe? Is it a moment to go out on a party spree, Or do you think of the mjengo that you're having and all the money is channeled there, Now, it matters how one relates with their money. And let me point out that it does not matter how much one earns, but it so much matters how one relates with money. And for you to be able to do well with your money, it's at this point that we employ the use of a budget. And with a budget, your budget helps you classify your incomes and your expenses. You already know your sources of income, or the expected amount of income that you expect to receive every end month or every payday, And once you receive this money, you classify your expenses, into basic needs, those things that you must have for you to continue existing. Things like food, you need shelter, you need clothes on, you need to pay your baby's fees, So if you have a loan, the loan installment you have to pay. Otherwise, if you don't pay, your lenders will be on your neck, So we have the basic needs that, and then the other category, the wants, You think of going on a holiday, you think about that designer handbag, even for that car that you so much desire to have someday, So you classify your expenses, and you also classify, as you receive your money, you must have a portion that goes towards your savings plan, because you want to come out of the place you are in and you get some better place, and your savings is going to facilitate, is going to finance the lifestyle that you want towards the future. So number 1 thing, it matters your relationship with your money. So employ a budget to help you spend your money, and as you're planning these expenses, make sure to follow your budget to the letter, so that you get to earn the fruits or the benefit that comes with implementing a budget, like you are able to live within the framework that you have set forward. Another number 2 point that I want to put forward is that one ought to live below their means. I may say within your means, or within whatever you're earning, but if you're earning, maybe 50,000, it would be prudent if your total expenses, amounts to 40,000, like you have an extra whooping 10,000 that you can channel towards your savings account. So number 2 point, live below your means. Always make sure that your expenses are not at the ceiling of whatever you're earning. Make sure to channel your expenses or to level them to a point that you are left with some spare money. And as you are left with this spare money, I also want to put forward point number 3, that each and every one of us, ought to have an emergency fund. And we are talking about coming up. If you have an emergency fund, should the principal provider get sick, the emergency fund is able to come in, take care of your hospital bills, provide for the family, and it's able to also meet your regular expenses should one be sick for a longer duration of time. And when we talk about having an emergency fund, we are talking of money, equal to 3 to 6 months of your monthly income. Like, should even one lose their job, you are able to navigate your way for the next 3 months before you land yourself into the next job. Or even when you start a new job, before your job peaks, you are able to be on your feet. So it is very important for one to have an emergency fund in place. So that's why we are saying one ought to live below their means, so that they are able to set up an emergency fund. And when we are talking about setting up an emergency fund, this is not a big jargon, I mean to say, you start from where you are, start putting aside some money, and it does not necessarily to be need to be in tunes of tens of thousands. It could even start by putting aside 1,000 each and every month, and by so doing, you are able to accumulate this money, and you have your emergency fund in place. The next point, after you've employed a budget, you live below your means, and you have set up an emergency fund, you really want to think of how you are going to bring in more income. How do you make more income? This could be by number 1, by compressing your expenses. Make a list of your expenses or analyze your budget. Get to see, do you really need to spend each and every coin you're spending? For example, if you're paying out rent, is the amount of rent you're paying, is it worth paying, or is it possible to live in exact same house in some other area or estate that is still safe, and you are able to even pay a lesser amount? Is it possible for you to shop in bulk so that you are able to earn those discounts? So you can make money by minimizing or compressing your expenses, or even eliminating altogether those expenses that you're having that are not adding value to you. Now that we are looking on a way to make more money, you can make more money by eliminating some of the expenses that you do not need to really incur. For example, even some of these subscriptions, that we have subscribed to, and we pay them each and every month, analyze all these expenses, and for those expenses that are not necessary, you do not need to incur them, have a way of eliminating them. When we are talking about making more money, this could also mean, looking for a side hustle, like after you work on your regular job, where you work 8 to 5, you find something to do for the next maybe 3-4 hours, and you are able to earn something. And whatever amount you earn, it doesn't matter whether it's an extra 1,000, it will complement your income. Remember, we are talking about the small steps that adds up to the bigger goal that we all have, or you have as a family or as an individual, so you can start a side hustle. The other one is one can go back to school, if that can work for you. One may go back to school, and once you come back to your workplace, you are able to earn yourself a promotion, or a pay rise. We are thinking of how we are going to increase our income, or your income. So where going back to school will do you good. If you need to do so, kindly go back to school and add your education and earn that promotion, or learn an extra skill, learn a new skill, and as you learn this new skill, it will help you make more money. Like, for example, you go to your regular job, and as you employ the new skill that you have acquired, it can generate you some extra income. And not to also forget, you work every day on a regular day, and there's this money that you've been setting aside. You invest this money in some profitable venture whereby you are going to earn your returns, and anytime you're going to invest your money, make sure to do all the due diligence to make sure that you invest your money in some venture that are going to pay you back, some profitable venture. So number 2 thing is increasing your income, having more than one stream of income. The reason I say this is because as we continue with life, there are so many things that are changing. Baby comes, you want to have a house, you to build a house, babies are going to school, and your expenses go expanding. So if you do not take a collective action of increasing your streams of income, you might find the little money that you are having might not be able to take care of all your expenses. So that's why we are talking about adding another stream of income, and this stream of income will help you achieve the financial goals that you have set forward. Now, by so doing, by adding another stream of income, you will not be out there living paycheck to paycheck. When you live below your means, you have some spare money that is you set aside, and in case of anything happening, you can use this money to take care of your livelihood. You are able to continue with your life, and by so doing, you will not be you won't end up in expensive debts. And when you're able to do your life comfortably, you won't think that somebody maybe bewitched you. If anything, the person bewitching you, maybe you need to go to your mirror and you be able to see who the person bewitching you is, by making decisions that are not sober, bad money mistakes, So as we come wrap up this today's topic, I want to put forward a few solutions that I believe will go a long way to helping each and every one of us to get to where they wanted to be. And number 1 point that I want to put forward is that 80% where you are financially, it is 80% brought about or as a result of your behavior with money. So that's why we are saying it so much matters how one relates with their money. So if you're able to adjust your behaviors accordingly, how you relate with your money, you will be able to set your financial life into perspective. So it's all about your behavior with money. When you receive that money, what do you think of? A plate of chips, juice, all this, going out for a massage, and it's not bad to do so, but it's about how one behaves or relates with money. So it's 80% behavioral, and maybe the 20% are those factors which are beyond our control. So the bottom line is, if you are able to relate well with your money, you can control the situation. Well, number 2 point, in one point in your life, maybe you have made bad money decisions, and the bad decision did put a dent maybe in your finances, or resulted to a great loss. What I want to put forward is, after having that experience, you should take that as a lesson, and now go back, make a better money decision, having had a better experience, or you take it as a lesson, and as you go forward, you're now even wiser, you are even now better, you know what to do and what not to do. So anytime you fail in whatever things you're doing in your financial matters or decisions, take that to be a lesson. Rather, don't give up, don't feel heartbroken, but rather take the lessons, go invest again, go start a business, go do whatever you need to do, but this time you're a better person, you are a more informed person. Then number 3 point that I also want to put forward, that I don't know whether it's controversial, but I say it, it is not the responsibility of government, to make sure that maybe you are financial savvy or whatever, but rather it's your hard work, it's how smart you are able to work, it's how smart you are able to be productive and do more to earn whatever it is that you're earning, or whatever it is that you're having. Engage your skills, engage your talent, engage the time you have to be productive and earn this medium of exchange, that we are calling money today. So if you do not have, that a lot of money that you want to invest, then it means you have time. Use this time to make more money. And last but not least, you owe nobody your financial success, but you. Whatever point you want to be in life financially, you owe it to yourself, and for you to get there, it's all about the small steps that one puts in place, and by you'll be able to realize all these financial goals you're having, or whatever goals you want to achieve, so it's you owe this success to yourself. So organize yourself, correct yourself together, do whatever it is you need to do. Eliminate some of these expensive expenses that you're having, these things you are paying for that it's not giving you value, and rather channel that money somewhere else where you can put in that money, and you are able to get something by the end of the month, by the end of completing that duty or task you're performing, and by you'll be able to earn yourself the financial success that you so much desire. So it's all on you. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you've not subscribed, share this video, like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.